The Volkswagen Group, which happens to own both the Porsche and Audi brands, has recently met with the FIA and current Formula One manufacturers to discuss a possible entry in 2026 when new engine rules take effect. This is very exciting news for many F1 fans and for those Porsche lovers around the globe. Additionally, we'll also touch on the win Hamilton took home while Verstappen was given a penalty, along with Daniel Ricciardo and his bad luck resurfacing. Stay tuned to find out all the inside details. Porsche may very well be joining Formula One. Thomas Laudenbach, Porsche's vice president of motorsport, has stated that the German automaker is seriously contemplating a Formula One entry in 2025-26. Two Volkswagen Group brands are expected to enter Formula One in the near future, with Porsche and Audi being the most likely possibilities. However, at this time of year, such rumors are common. This time, though, things appear to be different, with Porsche and Audi both actively participating in negotiations to revamp Formula One starting in 2025-26, when a new engine will likely be introduced alongside improvements to the car. Porsche is seriously investigating a Formula One program and will make a decision shortly depending on the series' technical roadmap and cost-cutting ambitions. Formula One hopes to implement a new engine formula in 2026 with higher electrical power output from a streamlined hybrid power unit, as previously revealed by the race. According to Laudenbach, things are now moving in the correct direction for Porsche to enter Formula One. Autosport quotes him as saying, "It's not a secret that we're thinking about F1, no secret that we're talking to the FIA about it, and it's no secret that we're really contemplating it. However, no decision has yet been made. From what I've heard, a lot of things in Formula One are moving in the correct direction." Despite the fact that no definitive decision has been taken, Laudenbach believes Porsche and competitor automakers cannot wait too long to make a decision. One thing's for certain, if such a decision is taken, you cannot wait too long, since you must begin racing in 2025 at a specific time. So you can see it's clear they're seriously thinking about joining Formula One, which we believe would be nothing but a positive for the popular luxury car brand. However, discussions are still ongoing, with a crucial question lingering over potential advantages a new manufacturer could be given to avoid being forced to compete against rivals that have far more expertise with current turbo hybrids. Porsche has been considering a move into Formula One for years and had an engine project in the works for 2021 that might have adapted its WEC engine to Grand Prix racing. However, its intentions were shelved when F1 dropped the concept of a regulation change at the time. While CEO Oliver Bloom has presided over recent meetings, Thomas Laudenbach, the newly appointed vice president of motorsport, is now significantly involved in the decision-making process. To improve the probability of Porsche committing, Laudenbach encouraged F1 to go farther with its steps to curb costs beyond the recently announced cost limitation. This would help to offset the cost of expanding the electric capacity of the power units, with Laudenbach advocating that the internal combustion engine utilize more standardized parts, while Laudenbach, who replaced Fritz Enzinger after his 8-year term at Audi Sport, emphasized that no final decision has been made. He believed that the company must not wait too long. Lewis Hamilton wins while Max Verstappen gets controversial penalty. After dominating the Qatar Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton is only 8 points behind Max Verstappen in the Formula One title race. Starting from the pole position, the Mercedes driver never looked back as he defeated Max Verstappen and Fernando Alonso. After being handed down a 5-place grid penalty for a violation in Saturday's qualifying session, Verstappen was in damage limitation mode. With only 2 races remaining, Hamilton's consecutive victories have left the Drivers' Championship title race on a knife's edge. Starting 7th and facing the possibility of losing his championship lead, Verstappen put in perhaps the best drive of the day. The Dutchman needed a strong start, which he delivered, moving up to 4th place by the end of the opening lap. Verstappen had moved up to 2nd place and was 4 seconds behind Hamilton by the end of the 4th lap. But that would be the closest the championship leader would go to his challenger, who would go on to win the race by about 8 seconds. Verstappen set the best lap in the race, earning him a crucial championship point. Verstappen penalized. Verstappen suffered a 5-place grid penalty for an infraction during qualifying, which added excitement to the race. Despite double yellow flags waving, the Drivers' Championship leader did not slow down through a portion which was near the finish line on his final flying lap on Saturday. Due to an incident, drivers are advised to slow down through areas of the track where double yellow flags are waving. After a puncture, AlphaTauri driver Pierre Gasly pulled over to the side of the racing track near the finish line. Verstappen qualified second behind Hamilton for Sunday's race. Valtteri Bottas, a Mercedes driver, received a 3-place grid penalty for the same infraction. Gasly was elevated to the front row with Hamilton as a result of the penalties. The stewards expressed sympathy for Verstappen's team, which said it was unclear whether drivers were forced to slow down because the FIA had turned off the yellow flag signal before the Red Bull driver had reached the last segment. Despite the team's argument that turning off the yellow sector of the FIA marshalling system 34 seconds before the driver reached the yellow flag meant it was play on. It was the driver's responsibility to take the appropriate action when entering what was a double yellow flag area, the steward said. The driver stated that he was aware of Car 10's presence on the right side of the circuit after seeing a disabled car. It's reasonable to assume that the driver of Car 55, Carlos Sainz, did, that there was a possible hazard and that a yellow flag situation occurred, and to take the necessary action. The statement continued. Red Bull CEO Christian Horner was not pleased with the decision, telling Sky Sports UK that the flags were being waved inappropriately. Speaking about the whole ordeal, Verstappen himself stating, "Our starting position was compromised, but luckily we had a really good start," he said, continuing, "Of course, I know it's going to be difficult at the end, but it keeps it nice, keeps it exciting. This track was fun to drive as well. I feel good, but it's going to be a tight battle to the end." Luckily, it seems as though Verstappen's not taking it too hard, which we're glad to hear. Daniel Ricciardo curse deepens. Just this week, Daniel Ricciardo was left scratching his head once more after another car issue marred his Qatar Grand Prix. Ricciardo finished 12th, 2 places higher than his qualifying position, for the 3rd race in a row with no points. Ricciardo's McLaren has had a lot of troubles in the second half of the season, the most recent of which being an unexplained fuel problem. It brought to an end to a disappointing triple header that has left Ricciardo fatigued and in need of a rest moving into the final 2 races of the season. "Unfortunately, the triple header came to a close," he remarked. "We ran out of petrol and had to save, which forced us to abandon the race. So we're not sure what happened, but we need to investigate," he continued. "I'm looking forward to moving on," he added. "I believe that everyone concerned needs a weekend off. Now, this is not the first time and most likely will not be the last that Daniel Ricciardo has experienced bad luck on the track, or what others like to call the curse." Ricciardo was first known as an incredible Australian driver that was killing the game and driving laps around his opponents. However, then 2018 rolled around and this was no doubt Ricciardo's worst ever year driving to date. Whether it was something that failed on the car or Ricciardo's fault was driving, he was definitely not having a great year. Many believe that it's all started to go downhill for the driver once he left Red Bull and was picked up by Renault, who are a great company but nothing compared to their competitor Red Bull. Before 2018, Ricciardo would have been a strong contender to join the top teams at the time, such as Mercedes or Ferrari. However, there was no way that was going to happen after what felt like an eternity of his terrible driving paired with his terrible bad luck. Although we saw a glimpse of that old bad luck for Ricciardo this past weekend, we doubt that it'll continue and Ricciardo will be back performing like normal the next big race. And there you have it, everything you need to know about Porsche and whether or not they really will be joining Formula One in the next few years. Are you excited for Porsche to join Formula One? Do you think they really will? What did you think about the other stories mentioned in today's video? Let us know. But if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss any of our new and upcoming content. Thanks for watching.